Highly capable students often underperform because they lack cognitive structure, struggling with distraction, overlapping schedules, and an obsession with minor details. To address these hurdles, we can build a 5-skill intervention matrix, embedding psychological safeguards into your lesson plan. Grab a piece of paper and draw a 5-row grid. Keep a specific assignment in mind as we go. Filling out these 5 rows creates a reliable bridge between what your students are capable of doing and what they actually achieve. Step 1 addresses distractibility. Many intelligent students have short attention spans, making it difficult for them to focus on a single task for long periods. In the first row of your matrix, write down a strict environmental rule for your assignment. Use action-oriented prompt words for your students, like attend to, focus, or heed. These curriculum guidelines show how this works across different subjects. For a science class, you might require students to read dense texts specifically in the library. For music, you can mandate that they set aside time in a dedicated practice room. Instructional success depends on environmental control. By structuring the physical room, you remove the reliance on a student's fluctuating willpower. Step 2 tackles effort distribution. Students often spread themselves too thin or take on too little. For your second row, draft a scheduling parameter that forces your students to prioritize. Build in a rule that gives them permission to just say no to extra tasks. This text provides practical examples. In math, a teacher can require students to block out specific time to read, complete homework, and check answers. In a foreign language course, students might need to evaluate the time cost of becoming an exchange student before they sign up. Teaching students to pace their commitments ensures they maintain a reasonable probability of actually finishing the projects they start. Step 3 targets perspective. Students often lose the larger context of an assignment when they focus exclusively on its microstructure. In row 3, write a specific check-in question for your assignment. This should be a prompt that stops the student in their tracks and asks, "What is the big picture?" According to these guidelines, a social studies teacher might ask students to explicitly link past events to future predictions. An art teacher could require students to acknowledge that practicing a boring, repetitive drawing technique serves the larger goal of painting accurately. Forcing students to regularly step back and articulate the why behind their work prevents them from getting bogged down in busy work. Step 4 is about how students process information. Assignments that rely heavily on a single type of skill leave students vulnerable when a situation demands a different approach. We designed for 3 phases of triarchic thinking: analytical for evaluating, creative for generating ideas, and practical for real-world application. Break the assignment down and write one specific requirement in row 4 that satisfies each of these 3 phases. This excerpt highlights how to structure a language arts essay instead of relying on multiple-choice tests. The prompt requires analytical ability to identify character traits, practical ability to show how characters are realistic, and creative ability to form a unique perspective. Success in complex tasks relies on a student's ability to shift between analyzing a problem, generating a novel solution, and applying it to the real world. Our final step addresses self-confidence. A lack of confidence becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, while excessive ego prevents improvement. In your final row, design a peer review or self-assessment moment. Force the student to acknowledge a weakness or safely display a strength. These classroom examples demonstrate how to strike that balance. Humble a top-scoring math student by assigning them to tutor peers through harder problems. Alternatively, build up a language arts student by encouraging them to try out for a demanding role in a play. Realistic self-assessment anchors the student. Without it, their intelligence remains either paralyzed by fear or blinded by ego. Look at your completed grid. You have integrated a psychological action plan directly into a standard lesson. Together, we've built safeguards against distraction, burnout, tunnel vision, one-dimensional thinking, and unchecked ego. Your challenge now is to take just one of these 5 activities and introduce it into your classroom tomorrow. Watch how structuring the cognitive environment shifts student performance.